I cannot imagine how over the moon Buffalo Bills fans must be right now. Because in the last several years since he's been in the league, Patrick Mahomes has been held up, and rightfully so, as the dream come true that can drop in any team's lap and change their fortunes of decades of mediocrity. Despite bursts of excitement and optimism, but for a 50-year period, the Kansas City Chiefs went from winning a Super Bowl early on in their careers and then trying to just damn win one playoff game, right? Despite having some successes. And Mahomes was held up as that guy, and the jewel who wins a Super Bowl and a Super Bowl MVP and then a league MVP, and when will we see another? And every other team looking at that who had years and years and years of waiting and hoping, not getting that quarterback, despite the years of waiting and hoping. And it sure looked like the Buffalo Bills were going to be one of them. And they got, on the night of the draft in 2018, supposedly the third best quarterback, with the Browns taking Baker Mayfield first and then the Jets taking Sam Darnold second, and then sitting right there for the Bills to take, it was Josh Allen. And even that night, it was just like, okay, big kid, big strong arm, not accurate. Nobody really saw him play college. He's there in Wyoming, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody saw him play.
50% completion percentage, right?
What's he doing there? If he was so damn good and out of high school, why would he be going there playing his football there? You know, right? Now he's the king of the world. He is.
There's no doubt.
There's no question.
There's no doubt.
He is the paragon of who you're hoping for now.
Let me look up paragon real quick.
He is the personification of who you're looking for. He is the standard of you are hoping on your football hope chest to get your Josh Allen. The guy who can beat you with his arm, beat you with his legs, beat you with his heart. And what he now has, and he had it before, and even if they lost yesterday, and the Chiefs had a chance to win this football game, as we all know. But what he has now, and we saw it yesterday in this game twice, is the air of invincibility and inevitability. Where it doesn't matter down distance. He's got the ability to come get you. And in the case of yesterday, at the end of each half, he went and did it. And the Chiefs defense came out balling. Man, is that Nick Bolton good or what? And that's the guy I choose to point out. I know that they've got guys up front like Chris Jones and Frank Clark, but that kid is really good at the linebacker spot. Really good. And they didn't even have a touchdown. And they're down 7-3, and there's a minute and change to go in the half, and he's standing in his own end zone. And normally you'd be like, okay, just don't turn it over. Don't make a mistake. Don't make it worse. Don't give the ball back to Mahomes, a good field position. He's going to come get you because that's what he does. And they just go 96 yards like it was nothing.
Like it was
96 yards.
Just like, cool.
96 yards in 7 plays. A $113 right before the half. Now, Harrison Butker kicked a 62-yarder because the Chiefs then went ahead and did to the Bills what they did to the Bills at the end of the game in the regulation in last year's playoffs, which is take this minuscule amount of seconds and go and score. And that's what Mahomes does to you. And that's what normally messes with your head, too. Certainly if you're an Arrowhead and you've had your last 2 seasons end in Arrowhead. And sure enough, Mahomes takes the lead again on this Bills team. And then the Bills down 20-17. Allen puts together a 12-play, 76-yard touchdown drive in which you're thinking to yourself, because this is the normal standard way that football fans think, because they don't usually have a quarterback as generationally brilliant as Josh Allen and an offense suited with playmakers around him and an offensive line that can protect him, even though sometimes he doesn't care about protecting himself. But, I mean, he normally, you would think, Okay, just go kick a field goal. You'll tie the game. We're going to have another overtime, right? But suddenly they keep moving the ball down the field and moving the ball down the field, and you're thinking, oh, my God, are they going to score a touchdown? And then he leaps over Justin Reed.
Yep.
How many Chiefs can this man hurdle? Answer 2. One last year in a loss, by the way, in a regular season, and then one this year. Okay? Hey, touchdown. And then the Bills' defense, Taron Johnson makes a play because Leslie Frazier's defense is pretty damn freaking good, too. Even though they finally gave up more than 7 points in the second half. They'd only given up 7 points in the second half all the way through to this game, and you knew Mahomes was going to score on them. And they made a defensive play and made a winner out of the Bills. 24-20 is your final. Juju Smith-Schuster with his best game as a Chief, and Kelsey did his usual thing, didn't get in the end zone. Von Miller came up with a huge sack of Mahomes that led to that game-winning drive I told you about. Put it in the end zone. That's what you do. You put it in the end zone on the Chiefs when you have to. And this time they came up with a defensive stop to end the game. And now the Bills have that calling card in their back pocket. Chiefs are still the best team in the AFC West. There is no doubt about that in my mind, and can absolutely go into Buffalo in January and win that football game, as we all know. But it helps for the Bills to do that in Arrowhead yesterday in Week 6, and what this does give Josh Allen that leg up on an MVP chat. So I'm not going to sit here and eviscerate the Chiefs, because that's what you do to a team that loses in the NFL, and you lionize the team that wins, certainly in a regular season game that has this much at stake. And I have spent the last several minutes lionizing the Bills, but I've done it since day one when we started playing football this year. And what the Bills have done is went into Los Angeles on a night that they raised a banner and handed out those satellites they call rings and win that game in punking the Rams. And I know the Rams are just 3-3 now and needed to really pull victory out of the jaws of defeat against an interim head coach yesterday in Carolina. But on the night of banners being raised and rings being handed out, you don't know that. So the Bills did what they had to do there. They destroyed the Tennessee Titans on a Monday night, too. Put Malik Willis in the game in the third quarter of that one. They went into Miami, and despite being so banged up on the back end, damn near won the football game anyway. Last time Miami's won, by the way, was that game. They went into Baltimore. They got some help, on a terrible roughing the passer penalty, which turned out to be a canary in quite the coal mine. But the Bills still came out with the win there against Baltimore before destroying Pittsburgh, which somehow bounced back against Tom Brady yesterday, and then doing what they did against Kansas City. They sit on a bye. They've got Green Bay at home. You just saw what the Jets did to Green Bay. And how about this game now having some importance? Week 9 at the Jets. That'll be another time where somebody's trying to come at the king. We'll see what the Bills do on that one. And I proffer to say that they will play a heck of a football game, because that's what they do. They don't show up and fold. There's no holes here. What a win.